13 plant-based calcium-rich foods for vegans and vegetarians. In order to improve and maintain your health, a well-balanced diet and regular exercise is a necessity. But for individuals with dietary restrictions such as lactose intolerance, or a vegan or vegetarian diet, nutrients such as protein and calcium become more difficult to attain. That is the stigma anyway. The truth is that you can consume more than enough calcium in your diet without animal-based dairy products. Since infancy, the majority of us were raised drinking cow's milk without complication. That is due to a mutation that causes an immunization to the adverse effects of dairy products. But those who are not able to develop this mutation suffer from what is known as lactose intolerance. If dairy products are consumed, their bodies go into rejection mode and it isn't pretty. They must find alternate sources for calcium in order to reap the benefits that it provides for the body. Some people choose to avoid dairy simply because it contains saturated fat, cholesterol, allergenic proteins, lactose sugar, and traces of contamination for a multitude of disturbing sources. So whether you choose to omit dairy for health reasons, moral reasons, or because your body simply cannot process it, there are still a number of plant-based resources where you can get more than enough calcium. Calcium helps to aid and control many bodily functions, and can cause complications if we do not consume enough. So we know that we are supposed to get a sufficient amount of calcium daily. But why? What does it do to benefit our bodies? Although there is some contradictory evidence that high levels of calcium actually may increase your risk of osteoporosis, that is likely linked to the intake of calcium through animal-based dairy products. Until more information on the subject comes to light, we are going to stick to what we know. Calcium benefits our bodies by. Plant-based calcium sources also contain vitamins C and K, as well as the minerals potassium and magnesium, also important for bone growth. As you may have already gathered, not getting enough calcium can lead to a number of issues. The average person needs to intake between 1,000 and 1,200 milligrams of calcium per day. Here's what can happen to your body if you do not meet the recommended requirements. Just one serving of this powerhouse food, about 140 milligrams, contains 39% of your daily calcium intake. In addition to the bountiful amount of calcium, consuming this healthy treat will also provide your body with fiber, protein, omega-3s, manganese, magnesium, phosphorus, zinc, vitamin B3, potassium, vitamin B1, and vitamin B2. A little goes a long way with these tasty little seeds. In just 1 tablespoon, you are consuming 88 milligrams of calcium. These are super easy to incorporate into your diet as it is commonly used as a garnish or crust. Additionally, you can also consume tahini, which is a sesame seed paste. You may have never heard of this grain, but it's time to get familiar because this is a super food that you don't want to miss out on. 1 cup of cooked amaranth contains 307 milligrams of calcium. This is a go-to for vegans and vegetarians because amaranth is also very abundant in protein. It is one of the few whole proteins. Iron and magnesium. I'd like to think that I'm pretty well-rounded in the culinary world, but this is a new one to me. 1 cup of cooked teff is packed with 123 milligrams of calcium. It's also very high in protein, making it a staple items for plant-based diets. Teff is abundant in fiber, magnesium, iron and B vitamins. If you've ever wondered what the sudden craze for kale was all about, it's time to start paying attention. Not only is it super versatile and tasty, but just 100 grams contains 205 milligrams of calcium. The additional benefits are too many to list in their entirety. But an abundance of fiber, protein, vitamin A, the vitamin Bs, vitamin C, copper, iron, potassium, magnesium, phosphorus, manganese, zinc, and omega-3 and 6. And a variety of essential amino acids, just to name a few. As a rule, consume as many green leafy vegetables as possible. They're very high in nutrients, and calcium especially. 1 cup of cooked collard greens has 268 milligrams of calcium. The other nutritional benefits are fiber, protein, vitamin A, vitamin Bs, vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin K, potassium, phosphorus, magnesium, omega-3s, omega-6, and a wide assortment of essential amino acids. Molasses provides 21% of our daily intake of calcium in just 3.5 ounces. Who knew that something so sweet could be so beneficial? There are also significant levels of potassium, magnesium, and iron. Incorporate the use of molasses into your meals to give it a hint of sweetness. A punch of nutrients. And absolutely no guilt. These interesting fermented soybean cakes can be quite tasty if prepared the right way. Boiled, marinated, and pan-seared. 1 cup of tempeh contains 215 milligrams of calcium. You can also find high levels of manganese, copper, phosphorus, magnesium, and vitamin B2 in here as well. Don't throw them away. The green tops to many plants such as turnips and beets are often discarded because people just don't know the nutritional benefits that they offer. I make it a practice to crisp them up like kale chips. In my personal opinion, they taste even better. 1 cup of cooked turnip greens will provide you with 197 milligrams of calcium. But it doesn't stop there. These leaves also offer protein, vitamin A, vitamin Bs, vitamins C, E, and K, copper, magnesium, manganese, and number of amino acids. Just 1 cup alone contains 460 milligrams calcium. That's more than a cup of dairy milk. And without all of the negative effects of animal proteins. This milk is very mild in flavor. And is preferred by many vegans and those who suffer from lactose intolerance. It is considerably closest to cow's milk in terms of viscosity. Because many dairy-free milk can be a bit watery. This stringy black seaweed is making its mark in common cuisine. Very popular in Japanese food. Hikiji is typically used in salads. And has a delicious, not so slimy texture that can make other seaweeds a bit off-putting. 1 cup alone contains 646 milligrams of calcium. Winner. Seaweed dinner. This is by far the best plant-based source for calcium. Although there are mixed feelings about soy-based products and whether or not we should be consuming them, tofu is a good friend of the plant-based crowd. Not only is it a great supplement for protein, but 1 cup of tofu contains 516 milligrams of calcium. Remember what I said about leafy greens? Well, here we are again. 1 cup of cooked spinach contains 288 milligrams of calcium. Spinach also contains high amounts of fiber, vitamin A, vitamin Bs, vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin K, iron, magnesium, manganese, and a whole lot of amino acids. Foods for better health. 5 foods that contain more calcium than milk. 1 Green Planet, forget cow's milk. Here's why seeds are the most overlooked sources of calcium. Care 225 Vegan sources for calcium. Vegan Kitchen, plant-based calcium, sources and absorbability. Health deliciousness, 33 vegetables high in calcium. Physicians Committee, calcium in plant-based diets. Authority Nutrition, 11 proven health benefits of chia seeds. Julie McCormick is a writer and co-owner of the Cleveland Leader, a Technorati Top 1000 site. Read full profile. Have you ever noticed that some people are able to effortlessly remember even the most mundane details and quickly comprehend new things? Well, you can too. Learning how to improve memory isn't as difficult as you might think. To unlock the full potential of your brain, you need to keep it active and acute. Wasting time on your couch watching mindless television shows or scrolling through social media is not going to help. Besides getting out flashcards, what can you do to help remember things better and learn new things more quickly? Check out these 10 effective strategies on how to improve memory. Physical activities don't just exercise the body, but it also helps to exercise your brain. Obesity and the myriad of diseases that eventually set in as a result of being overweight can cause serious harm to the brain. So when learning how to improve memory, exercise is king. Furthermore, without regular exercise, plaque starts to build up in your arteries, and your blood vessels begin to lose the ability to regulate blood flow. Plaque buildup reduces the amount of oxygen and nutrients that your blood carries to your brain. When the nutrients don't make it there, the brain's ability to function is compromised. One study in particular found that exercising 4 hours after learning significantly improved memory retention. The researchers suggested that appropriately timed physical exercise can improve long-term memory and highlight the potential of exercise as an intervention in educational and clinical settings. To improve your memory, make sure you get moving every day. Even if it's just a brisk walk. It'll help you maintain and increase your mental acuity. Brisk walking, swimming, and dancing are all excellent activities. If you have trouble finding time to fit in a workout, check out this article, 5 Ways to Find Time for Exercise. Any risk factors that cause you major stress, like anger or anxiety, will, in time, begin to eat away the parts of your brain that are responsible for memory. Amongst the most brain-damaging stressors is depression. which is actually often misdiagnosed as a memory problem since one of its primary symptoms is the inability to concentrate. One study assessed memory in 3,999 veterans and found that depressive symptoms, without anxiety, had an adverse effect on immediate recall of new information and the total amount, but not rate, of acquisition. If you can't concentrate, then you might feel like you are constantly forgetting things. Depression increases the levels of cortisol in your bloodstream, which elevates the cortisol levels in the brain. Doctors have found that increased cortisol diminishes certain areas of the brain, especially the hippocampus, which is where short-term memories are stored. Prolonged depression can thus destroy your brain's ability to remember anything new. Seek professional help to combat your depression and any stressors causing it. Your brain will thank you. Getting a consistent 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night will help you in your task of learning how to improve memory. During sleep, the brain firms up memories of recently acquired information, especially during REM sleep. Getting enough sleep will help you get through the full spectrum of nocturnal cycles that are essential to optimal brain and body functioning during the waking hours. On the contrary, sleep deprivation can put a huge dent in your ability to form memories. Another helpful strategy is to take a nap during the day, especially after learning something new. This can also help you to retain those memories, as well as recharge your brain and keep it sharper longer. However, the length of your nap is also very important. Scientists, in one study, found that people who napped for 30 to 90 minutes experienced better word recall. 50 to 60% of the brain's overall weight is pure fat, which is used to insulate its billions of nerve cells. The better insulated a cell is, the faster it can send messages, and the quicker you can think. This is precisely why parents are advised to feed their young children whole milk and to restrict dieting. Their brains need fat to grow and work properly. Skimping on fats can be devastating, even to the adult brain. Thus, eating foods that contain a healthy mix of fats is vital for long-term memory. Some excellent food choices include fish, especially anchovies, mackerel, and wild salmon, and dark, leafy green vegetables. Deep-fried foods obviously contain fat, but their lack of nutritional value is not going to help your brain or your body. So think healthy foods and fats first. According to Larry McCleary, MD, author of the Brain Trust program, an egg is the ideal breakfast. Eggs contain B vitamins, which help nerve cells burn glucose, antioxidants that protect neurons against damage, and omega-3 fatty acids that keep nerve cells firing at optimal speed. If you want to learn how to improve memory, breakfast is incredibly important. Other foods to add to your breakfast include fruits, veggies, and lean proteins. Avoid trans fats and high fructose corn syrup. Trans fats diminish the brain cells' ability to communicate with each other. And one study found that HFCS can actually damage the brain by promoting brain insulin resistance. Having a healthy breakfast in the morning has been shown to improve performance throughout the day. Don't skimp on this important meal. Nowadays, it's fairly uncommon to write down notes with a pen and paper. When we go to class or meetings, we take our laptops and use that to mark down important ideas. However, recent research has suggested that may be doing us more harm than good. One 2014 study found that even when laptops are used solely to take notes, they may still be impairing learning because their use results in shallower processing. You can start a journal, write yourself emails, or even start keeping a blog. All of these activities will help to improve your capacity to remember and memorize information. Most importantly, if you're going to class or to a big meeting, consider taking notes by hand instead of on your computer. Research shows that certain types of music are very helpful in recalling memories. Information that is learned while listening to a particular song or collection can often be recalled by thinking of the song or playing it mentally. Songs and music can serve as cues for pulling up particular memories. If you're looking into learning how to improve memory, this can be a great thing to try. Listening to music has been shown to specifically benefit the memorization of words. One study found that young adults who listened to music while memorizing a list of words, as opposed to listening to environmental sounds or silence, performed better when asked to recall the words. Next time you have to memorize a speech of want to compete in a spelling bee, try listening to music while studying. You may be surprised by how much it helps. Pay attention to photographers, charts and other graphics that might appear in your textbook, or if you're not studying a book, try to pull up a mental image of what it is you are trying to remember. It might also help to draw your own charts or figures. Or utilize colors and highlighters to group related ideas in your notes. Another strong visualization technique for memory is the memory palace. This essentially involves imagining a place you know well, your house or a former school. For example, listing distinctive features of the place in your mind. And begin to associate those features with things you want to remember. Then, when you need to recall information, you simply go to the specific room or object where you stored the information in your mind. And it will come to you. For more information on how to build a memory palace, check out this article, How to Build a Memory Palace to Remember More of Everything. Reading material out loud has been shown to significantly improve memory of the material. Expanding further upon this idea is the fact that psychologists and educators have found that by having students teach new concepts to others, it helps to enhance understanding and recall. One study pointed out that this increased memory specifically because it forced students to recall the information in order to teach it. Teach new concepts and information to a friend or study partner. And you'll find you remember the information a lot better. Studies have shown that doing crossword puzzles, reading, or playing cards on a daily basis helps to delay memory loss, especially in those who experience cognitive decline in the form of dementia. So, pick up the daily newspaper and work on that crossword puzzle. Read a book. Or enjoy a game of solitaire if you want to boost your memory. Everyone has the ability to learn how to improve memory and boost their brain power. And everyone will find that different strategies work for them. Try out some of the above in order to get a feel for what works for you. Current biology, physical exercise performed 4 hours after learning improves memory retention and increases hippocampal pattern similarity during retrieval. Archives of clinical neuropsychology, the effects of depression and anxiety on memory performance. Sleep medicine, memory, sleep and dreaming, experiencing consolidation. Johns Hopkins Medicine, can a nap boost brain health? Current neuropharmacology, impact of dietary fats on brain functions. Nutrients, dietary omega-3 fatty acid deficiency and high fructose intake in the development of metabolic syndrome, brain metabolic abnormalities, and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Psychological science, the pen is mightier than the keyboard, advantages of longhand over laptop note-taking. Musicae scientiae, the positive effect of music on source memory. Applied cognitive psychology, the learning benefits of teaching, a retrieval practice. Hypothesis J in neuropsychal SOC, association of crossword puzzle participation with memory decline in persons who develop dementia. Text source, lifehack.org.